Yeah, just it is stuttering, Jamie. Yeah, it's not just you. Yeah, it seems to have evened out now. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Everybody having a good week? Hope your Tuesday's going well. And yeah, this should even out. I did a bunch of tests earlier on, and it like the first 15 minutes were patchy, and then it did kind of catch up with itself, and then it was perfectly fine. But I don't know why it does it. Hope you guys are good though. Let's have a look. Yeah, looking. I mean, it should even out, Cat. Yeah, I mean, it's evened out on my end, which probably means that you guys are maybe like a minute behind, maybe once it catches up. Hey Vlad, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Jamie, I'm here, man. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, this is hopefully we can even this out once it's been going for a few minutes. It'll calm down. Kat, how you doing? Been a while. Good to see you. Secret stream. This is not a secret stream. I am risking it. The stream I did earlier on was like a private offline stream that was supposedly to try and even this out. Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna try it because yes, when it was earlier on, like it was getting like 100 kbh, and now it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, I need to post this on Facebook. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, everybody's posted an image in the share a shoot. Who wants to share an image? Because some great ones in there this week, though. I mean, they're always great, but like really good. All right. I didn't see. Did you put one in there, Kat? Oh, let me have a look. I know we got one in there from Vlad. That's weird. I know we got one in there from Vlad, and we got there's Vlad's one. Bunch of really good ones. Jamie's in there as well. Yeah, nice, good stuff. Right, let's get this chat box out. Then we can get cracking. A couple of things I wanted to do today. One of which we'll just go over a couple of kind of releases, like product releases. Nothing. It's been pretty quiet, right? I mean, Canon did a bunch, to be fair. So we can have a look at those, and but that's really all there has been. A couple of other little odds and sods, but nothing crazy, right? So I did receive some products from a new lighting company, Jian, Chinese company, but yeah, which are kind of crazy as in surprisingly. Like I was kind of, like they reached out and was like, can we send these over? And I was like, I mean, I guess, yeah. And I'm not being a dick, but I more LED lights and that sort of thing, and there's a bunch of new ones out there, but these ones were like really surprising. Yeah, so I'll have a chat about those in a second, but yeah, I was actually really pleasantly surprised. actually really decent quality lights. So have a look at those in a minute. Have you checked out the JPEG quality website I sent you? Or was that the... What's that about, Vlad? Where did you send that to me? On Instagram? Or is this in the or is this in the Facebook thing? Cat hasn't shared anything this week. That's fine. I won't put one last minute this time. Don't worry. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at bits we got there. Did I miss anything else out there? No. Yeah. What do you think of the brand? Newer, by the way. They are definitely one of those brands that I'm like they're the, I don't know. It's just like just imagine like an Amazon home brand level of quality. So like they're gonna provide you with illumination, but they're just not gonna have like any bells and whistles at all or anything like that. And what were you thinking of? Like the LED panels? I mean, if you were just, let's just say, if you were just doing a stream at home or something like that, and you wanted some lights to illuminate you on a webcam, you'd be fine, right? You'd be fine. Like you just set them up, forget about them. Like you're not worried too much about the white balance and the color and all that sort of stuff. Like you should be, you'd be fine. But I think if you were looking to use them for photography long term, yeah, I'd be wary for sure. Yeah. Here as well. Give me a sec. It's worth talking about if there aren't interesting gear releases. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, newer cheap Chinese stuff, but decent products. Have a few stuff from them. No lights though. There you go. So okay, so Vlad's actually had them. So that means so Vlad's obviously got more experience with them than I have. I have really only kind of looked at like the specs of them and have typically been a bit wary of it. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's get started here. As always, just going to have a little bit of a look at some of the releases. Nothing crazy, and then we'll get stuck into those lights that were sent to me, and just give my kind of top level thoughts on them. I think I will be reviewing them. I think they are absolutely good enough to review, and I think good enough that, like, surprising good enough that I think it's worth kind of highlighting that, because there's a lot of brands out there, right? Now, I mean, I can't imagine anything crazy would happen during a shoot that they're just not gonna, they've been on for 45 seconds and they turn themselves off or something like that. That would obviously be horrendous product, but I can't imagine anything like that's going to happen. So I think they're good. Yeah, I think they're good. So have a check about those. Let's have a look. So Kat says, yeah, I have some lights from them. One is a small portable one, but the battery doesn't last much. It made it fall on the LCD screen. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of things will break when they fall. So I guess, I guess that's fair. But yeah, they are fairly inexpensive, right? Trying to be polite. I would, Kat. Yeah, if you can save up for something, just wait a little bit longer and invest in something that will probably last you a very long time, then that would definitely be preferable. But look, I get it. Everybody's budget's different, and if it's gonna stop you from taking pictures, then get them. But yeah, if you can hang on, save up for a little bit longer and get something a little bit more long lasting, that'd be great. So this link then, Vlad, you've sent, what we got here? Jeffrey Ellsberg, analysis of Lightroom JPEG quality settings Anything I should be specifically looking at here, Vlad? And it's actually one of the first things we're going to learn about images is JPEG image compression. Lossy means the smaller file produced by greater compression comes at the cost of lower image quality. Modern mosaics, like it, yeah. So what's he doing then? He's just been exporting JPEG settings in Lightroom and then kind of comparing the results. Example. Let's look at an example of a lightened version of a shot. The sunset post last month. Sunset and bird. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. He's done that. Oh, that's a great little chart. Yeah. So I don't know. I presume you guys can see the banding on stream at these kind of lower ends. And then, interesting. So it kind of disappears like the 7 and 8 here. Interesting. Okay. But you see that file size here, like huge drop off, right? So, and I haven't read this, Vlad, so by all means correct me if I'm saying something wrong here, but yeah, it looks like it looks like the trade-off, right? So if you go down to file size 7, you can kind of get away with decent quality, but if you go down to these horrendous quality ones, you're not really saving much of a file size, right? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Is there anything else I need to be looking at with that, Vlad? Let's see. So did the stream just cut out there? No, it's still going. Okay. It's super hot in here as well. Those of you that aren't in the UK, it is like roasting, and there's a bunch of. I've got my door closed to try and keep some of the noise out, but it's like 1,000,000 degrees in here. So, so we'll see. So Canon's announcements. These are, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done a stream. So these may be a couple of weeks late, but it's still worth just kind of mentioning them briefly. Canon EOS R1 flagship mirrorless finally announces 6K raw video, 40 FPS stills. So I mean, this thing is a monster, right? This like right from Canon is an absolute beast, and typically this would have been one of their big DSLRs. So these big form factor bodies, I don't know who shoots with those anymore. I suppose like sports photographers, right? I mean, this obviously announced before the Olympics, so I'm sure there's a bunch of them at the Olympics right now being put through their paces. But yeah, absolute beast. Yeah. We thought we got it when Canon announced the EOS R3 for $4.5 grand, but no, this was still a flagship yet to come. If we may, we saw a development announcement, and today it's official. The new flagship EOS R1, just over $6 grand, has been announced. It's a bit of a monster. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, the chat's just come through. I don't know why the chat was lagged. Yeah. The above link in JPEG quality. The rotor lights broke my bank. Oh, yeah, they are expensive, Jamie. Yeah. I mean, there's no denying that. I would say they're definitely like a Mercedes brand when it comes to LEDs. So yeah, they are pricey for sure. Yeah. So Daryl says, "Hey, doing Daryl? I have newer Rotalight and Nanolight. Newer, not the best, but cheapest. Exactly, Daryl. Yeah, it's difficult, right? Because like you turn it on and light comes out. It's like, well, isn't that's good enough, right? That's what we need. We need something with light that comes out, especially with the panels, the square panels. It's like, well, you know, I'm not really too worried about attachments because they don't come with a bunch of attachments or anything like that. So, you know, if light's coming out of them, it's kind of good enough. Yeah. It has the compressions. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great chart, Vlad. Yeah, good shout on that. I think what's kind of interesting for me, because I'm always like, how much do I really save by compressing it down lower? And there have been occasions where I've really needed to keep stuff as small file size as possible, and you know, I do kind of go down to the 7, and then it's just diminishing returns after that, right? So it is definitely good to get the as a really good example of how the compression works on a color gradient like that. Yeah, really good example. Yeah. I'll save up for Pixar Rhodolite eventually, but going to take a while. Yeah, it is. It is cat. Yeah, as long as you've got lights right now. Like if you don't have any lights, then get them, because you know, shooting with some light is definitely way more important than shooting with perfect quality light. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, left is file size. Yeah, there's several examples. 70 quality. Stop going up, the file size jumps up. Yeah, exactly, Vlad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really good. Yeah, Tommy, how you doing, man? How you doing? Okay, so it contains a 24 megapixel full frame BSI CMOS sensor, along with a new processing engine for improved performance. So interesting, right? You know, this beast of a camera, 24 megapixel, and you know, I think for many of us here, like I don't think there's many sports shooters here, although I do have a bunch of events photographers follow me on here as well. But yeah, I don't think, like, for many of us, 24 is just going to be like, oof, you know, that's a no from me. But here we go. This is what they go on to say: the Canon EOS R1 offers full frame 14-bit raw stills at 24.2 megapixels. It shoots them up to a very impressive 40 frames per second. So this is where this, you know, this niche of a camera sits in, right? It is it's just going to give you a lot of frames very, very quickly. So like sports, I guess, like paparazzi and that sort of thing as well, where maybe you don't need huge file sizes, right? But you definitely need to make sure that you've got the shot. Yeah. So it just goes on to talk about bits and pieces there, but one feature it has is in-camera upscaling. So my first response, maybe it was for you, is 24 megapixels. Not really enough. So they kind of have this as a way to work around that. Like I said, the one feature they have is in-camera upscaling. The EOS R1 also contains in-camera upscaling, but it's not high-res pixel shift wobbly sensor mode, essentially useful for landscapes and that sort of thing, where it's basically taking multiple images and then combining them into a far larger file size, which is what he's referring to there. It's a deep learning AI generated upscale. It upscales 200%, turning that 24 megapixel image into a 96 megapixel image. So be interested to see some tests on this, right? I'm sure most of us here have used generative fill and like that sort of thing, right? So, you know, we take an image and we're like, oh, crop's not right, I need to add a little bit more sky, and we can use generative fill in Photoshop, and you know, that's AI generated pixels. And the way that this is being described here is that's what's going on there, right? It is taking that image and then almost shattering the pixels, and then AI generating the ones in the middle, sort of thing, to create this massive image. And this is kind of what interpolation used to do back in my day. I mean, my first digital camera, Fuji S2 FinePix, was 6 megapixels, and it interpolated up to 12, right? I mean, I don't know whether any of us believed that at the time, but like, we knew it was 6 megapixels and fine. However they get the image quality, if the image quality is fine, but 96 megapixels is like, you're really getting in there, right? You're really counting the eyelashes at that level. So if it's saying that it can generate those gaps in the image with AI, kind of interesting. Yeah. Let's have a look. I'm missing here. So Daryl says Rotolight always wins on weight size versus light output. It is, Daryl. Yeah, it is, and yeah, it's the thing that I come across the most. Is the power issue, right? Like how bright is it? Where can we where can we use it? And you're right. Like I think there are. I think that we're in this era now where there are specific lights for specific jobs. I think if I look back on my career using strobes, I think strobes were definitely the jack of all trades because we could modify them, right? But and I won't get into it, but softboxes, on a strobe is not a good looking light. So I think strobes are great, but I do think they are great at doing everything pretty well. And it wasn't until I've recently started to use LEDs in the last couple of years where I've really sort of seen like a uptick in light quality, should we say, in a lot of my lighting. And it's just strobes are great, but they certainly have their place. If you're out there was a guy commented on a post last week, I think it was, and he was like going, yeah, I am photographing, I'm thinking about LEDs, but at the moment I photograph dancers outside with 1200 watt strobes. It's like, look, LEDs are amazing, but they are not going to be able to replace your strobes right now. It's just you're asking for fast moving people and outside in the daylight that you're trying to capture. Yeah, it's going to be a big ask. Yeah, big ask. But that's the same with many things. You need the right tool for the right job, right? That says my thinking on the file size is how much less will a Facebook or Instagram compress my image if they are like 1/5 of the file size. So you mean when you check your image on Facebook, Vlad? So you've got your let's say you've got your 10 megabyte JPEG, and then you upload it to Facebook, and you look at it, and now it's 1 megabyte. Is that what you're saying? Like how much compression is it doing based on the file size difference? Hey Sin, how you doing? Hey Jake, late to editing and drinking beer. Pants is way too hot. It is, Sin. Yeah, I was just saying that I'm in this room trying to keep a handle on the sound. I've got the door closed. It is hot. Yeah, it is warm, man. Yeah. Neil says it outputs the upscale as a JPEG is one of the issues I saw with that. So Neil says it outputs the upscale as a JPEG. Is that right, Neil? Interesting. Good piece of information there. Didn't see that in this article. I mean, I haven't looked into it. I'm not a Canon shooter or anything like that. But that is interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, I guess you can't. I mean, I just assumed that at 96 megapixels, I was kind of assuming it was going to be. I don't know. It was going to do something with the RAW, but no, you're right. Obviously, it can't do. Yeah, it's not a RAW, is it? If you're having to AI the pixels in there, that's a completely different kettle of fish in terms of issues with that. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, just didn't put two and two together, but you're absolutely right, Neil. Of course it's going to be a JPEG. Yeah. I mean, I guess it could have been a TIFF, but that would have been big, right? Yeah. Vlad says, got some question. How fast do you fill your card's hard drives with 40 FPS stills, and how many seconds can you sustain that for just before the buffer is full on camera? Yeah, I don't even know what stops it. So it's obviously the hard drive inside that is trying to catch up with it, right? So it's not like it's overheating or anything like that. But there's the hard drive is trying to write those images. But yeah, some of the cards you can get now are just monstrous. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know enough about camera tech, but I've always been like, well, I get this. 14-bit RAWs, 24 megapixels shoots them up to an impressive 40 frames per second, but it's a full-frame chip in there. I just would have thought it would have been possible at this stage to go, well, when we're shooting like that, it's only going to be at 24 megapixels. But if we've got more time and we just want to take one frame, is it not possible to have it a larger file size? Obviously not. And their example, like Neil said, is going to be a 96 megabyte JPEG. Yeah. Guilty, generative fill is a godsend. Look, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Yeah, I've definitely used it. Like I said, I mean, I use the example of, cropping off an elbow or something like that, and it definitely it's definitely helped with that sort of thing. And like for the sort of stuff that I'm using it for, it's really a time saver. It's not generating stuff that I wasn't going to generate anyway. So for example, like 2 years ago when I cropped off the elbow, I would go back into the Lightroom catalog and then grab an image where the elbow was visible and then just paste that onto the image that I'm trying to fix. So it's not like it's doing something that I wouldn't have done before. It's just saving time, you know? Yeah. Jake, can I ask what lens did you use in the last shoot? The top and bottom lit ones. By that I mean more than actual glass. Oh, which ones? The shoot like the red and blue shoot that I posted last week. Those ones. Millimeter, not. The mil was 105 mil in those shots from last week. If you talk about the blue light coming down with the red light from above, yeah, that one, yeah, cool, gotcha, yeah, 105 mil, 105 mil prime, beautiful lens, absolutely beautiful lens, love that lens, it's gorgeous, very very bright as well. It's like a stop brighter than my zoom lens, and extremely sharp. And this is, I'm not just saying this because it's a Nikon. This is not Nikon sharp. It is genuinely sharp. Yeah. So beautiful lens, and I mean it's old now. I think you can pick it up for a couple £100, but phenomenal lens. Yeah. I'm editing right now, and I'm using GenFill, and as Jake said, I'm using it as a time saver, like the hairline on the lace, the front wig. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's stuff that you would have fixed a couple of years ago. It's just now allowing you to do it faster. Yeah. So this one, just wrap up on this one. 5-axis in-body stabilization offers up to 8.5 stops of shake stopping power. That's wild, right? 8.5 stops of camera shake. So like, what is that? I mean, that's just nuts. So wait, I mean, if you were shooting like an 1/8 of a second, so that would bring it up to what? A 15th, 30th, 60th. I mean, no, just no way that's working. 8 stops. That means you could be shooting at just like a quarter of a second or something, and it would bring it up to. I mean, it's just nuts. Like I would have to try that. Granted, you need a specialist lens there, but yeah, again, this is not something that I deal with. This is probably old news to a lot of you guys, but that's just nuts. 8. I don't think you realize how much 8 stops is. It's wild. That's like at night in a cave. You're still getting image stabilization. It's just nuts. Yeah. But again, this is another factor as well when people talking about LEDs. Oh, it's not bright enough, and it's a valid point. But at the same time, like the tech that is also coming up around LEDs, like ISO quality for one, right? And then stabilization is another. It just means that it's just far easier to shoot in lower light now, and it always has been. Yeah. Nikon Sharp. Yeah, Nikon Sharp is as Nikon shooters, what we deem as sharp is perhaps not sharp to a Sony user, should we say? Yeah. My Sony does 5 stops. Personally, I don't like. So you say you don't like it, Jamie? Is it because it's quite slow? It's got a you press the button and there's kind of like a delay when it kind of grabs it, or I haven't used it. But yeah, 5 stops should be enough for anybody. Anyway, 6.5 gram for this little beast. Definitely a specialist pick. I can't think there's going to be too many people, just going out there to test that one. Another one from Canon here. Again, like I said, Canon have a couple of announcements. They don't normally, so we may as well make the most of them when they have them. So the new Canon EOS 5D Mark II will be available next month. So the EOS R5 Mark II camera features improved video focus features for hybrid and video creators, and a real-time multi-recognition tracking system for those who are primarily focused on still photography. So again, right, more tech when it comes to making sure that the subject is where it's supposed to be and in sharp and all that sort of stuff. So again, all this tech is kind of coming up around LEDs as well. Key features of the EOS R5 Mark II camera include back illuminated stacked 45 megapixel full frame sensor and new processing system for extremely fast reading. So 45 megapixel camera. So this is going to be, I think if I have Canon shooters coming to me and they're asking for recommendations for studio cameras, like this is absolutely going to be the one that I'm going to recommend to them if they've got tons of Canon glass and that sort of thing. This is going to be absolutely, I think this is going to be an exceptional camera for in the studio, mainly as well. It looks fairly small. It's got a ton of power in it, huge files in my opinion. 45 megapixels is more than enough for most people. And something that's really kind of valuable to me is something that's like I can't use that in the studio for 8 hours, right? You just can't. Like, it's just a monster. I used to have to back in the day, way back in the day, and it was agony. Right? If you're shooting for long periods of time, this thing, especially you got throw on a lens on there as well, something like this is going to be absolutely perfect. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff in there, usual kind of stuff that you'd expect. One thing that they noted here, again, I don't know, I'm not a Canon shooter, but I think Sony suffered from this as well, but the batteries that they had for their cameras was really struggling with the tech that it was drawing on. So Canon has updated the battery to a completely new type, the LP E6P. The new battery features higher continuous power and twice the ampage. So yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff in here for video as well, if you're into that sort of thing, and it seems to have a lot of features for video. But overall, this looks like an excellent camera. It is $4,000 though. It is $4,000. I guess that's just the cost of that power of camera these days. I guess that's just what it costs. Can somebody give me a Sony equivalent? 45 megapixel, like one of their newest Sony cameras. How much does that cost? So Jamie says, Jamie's talking about the whatever it was, the stabilization thing, and he says it can shake the image. It was interesting. Yeah. So when you're actually looking through it, wow, that's nuts. Yeah. Neil says the R5 II has the same focus system as the R1, except they aren't cross-type focus points. So it is okay. So it's using the same tech in this body as well. That's cool though. That's cool. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Again, I mean, it's been like I used to only shoot Canon years ago when I was in the studio, but I haven't really used them in, I don't know, nearly 10 years or something like that. Yeah. Nice one. I have the Sigma 1.4 XDG HSM 85mm. It's a really nice lens for head and torso, but seems to drop off in full body. Not sure if it's my lighting or the lens. I use a full frame 60 Mark II. When you say it seems to drop off, what do you mean? So I have an 85. I haven't used it in years. So I'll use my zoom 24-70, and then if I need something more than that, I always just go straight up to the 105. That's just me. Even for headshots and that sort of thing, I know it can be, you can be a little bit further away from the client. So sometimes, you may feel like it's a little bit impersonal if you're shouting at them from across the room. If you're doing, longer body shots and that sort of thing. But I think it's fine. Yeah, I think, like I said, I've got an 85 here, and I just haven't touched it. Really, I've just fallen in love with the 105 in recent years, and really haven't gone back. Yeah, intending to try your last shoot in the studio in a couple of weeks with some LED big bulbs and the SLs. A couple of beauty dishes, 40 centimeters, 70 centimeters. Okay, yeah. I mean, absolutely doable. Yeah. So you're kind of substituting the kind of DIY modifier above for just an LED panel. I'm not familiar with the SL60. Do have a couple of beauty dishes. So is it like an S-fit LED, or is it like a panel? Grimes says, well, for sports, Sony has the A9 series, so A9 III, but it's 24 megapixels as far as I remember. So that would be like the previous one we looked at, right? That's going to be competing with that. And you're right, Grimes, that does seem to be the the kind of standard 24 megapixels is for the sports world, and yeah, I guess that's as kind of the niche it's been designed for, and that's what it kind of specializes in. So I'm guessing they're just not worried about making more of a universal camera, because if Canon, let's say Canon did that, let's say they did the 24 and they did what I suggested, which you had the ability to kind of upscale it, or not upscale it, but take larger files if you didn't want the 40 frames, maybe the quality diminishes in some way. I don't know. And we kind of spoke about this a couple of weeks ago on stream, where you have, there's some political things going on in the US right now, and you have people just dumping tons and tons of files across the cloud to the editors, right? I can't believe they're dumping RAWs across the cloud to the editors. So I guess for them it's just not. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the editors just get the JPEG and they do have the RAW on their card there, for if they want to do something bigger with it afterwards. But there was a lot of images taken a couple of weeks back when a certain event happened, and there's just no way they're sending RAWs over the cloud like that to the editor, in the car park. It's just no way. Shakes the image when taken, either that or I'm jumping around too much. It's so weird. Is there a conflict between the lens and the camera doing it? I know years ago, this was if you had the image stabilization on the lens and image stabilization in the camera, they would fight with one another. There was a big issue at the time where you had to make sure that you had the one in the camera turned off if it was in the lens, because the camera was the lens was trying to stabilize it, and then the camera was trying to stabilize the image that the lens was trying to stabilize. So it just ended up fighting with one another. Obviously, I'm sure that's not what you're doing. I'm just saying that it used to be the case where it was kind of creating this more trouble than it was worth thing, yeah. But the A9 III has a global shutter, and I believe it shoots up to 120 frames. That is like that. They've done well with the marketing on that global shutter, Gripes. Yeah, they've done really well with it. I think it's a lot of hype over, I'm sure, a great piece of technology. But I think they've done well with the marketing on it personally. Yeah. I mean, all the tips on that setup are there, Tommy. Yeah, so I can certainly bring up the lighting technique in a minute. But everything is covered there. The thing that if you're going to be, at the end, I think I show you I'll show you an example of doing it without the LEDs. Let's bring it up. This is the setup you're talking about, right? So the setup I'm doing it here is I'm kind of bringing the light in as close as possible to the top of the model, and then I'm using multiple layers of diffusion to kind of really keep it as soft as possible. So bring it in very, very close, and that's the key, right? Now, as you bring that further away from her above, what that means is that you're going to have to turn the power of it up a little bit more, obviously, right? You're bringing the light further away, and as you do that, now you have more light spreading down the body. So, the trick to this one is to keep it real close to her, as close as you can kind of get away with, out of shot. Again, the 105mm lens helped here as well, right? Because I'm not shooting at 50mm, and then I'm seeing the light above her. So bring it in as close as you can, and then use. I used diffusion material in there, double it up, and yeah, as you can see there. Right, so it's real close. If she's sat down there, it's just out of shot. It really is just out of shot. Yeah. And this was kind of like a test shot to begin with, where I hadn't put the color on, but you can see how much it drops off. Right, you can see how her face is lit there, and there's just almost no light on the wrist there. Right, that's the kind of sweet spot that you're looking for there. the light drops off incredibly quickly because of how close it is to her. That's how you're able to manage that drop off in that short space. Now, with single point strobes and that sort of thing, as I've spoken to at length before, you just don't get this soft light. I mean, this is just a raw image, but yeah. So you just don't get that soft light when you're bringing it in that close. Here's the lens here, the DC Nikkor 105 f2. I'm shooting at ISO 200 there. So if you didn't have any of those things, then this is the kind of scuffed version, right? You would use your beauty dish. Is going to be better than a softbox. If you've got a beauty dish that you can put up there, use that. Make sure, I mean, obviously use a diffusion cover on it. If I was you, I would actually put another layer of diffusion on that if you can. If you just get some diffusion material. This goes to everybody, but if you don't have diffusion material to hand, just buy some. It's like super cheap, and you just use it all the time for things. I think I list it up here as well. Yeah, this stuff, right? So what is that? It's like 6 meters. 6 meters of it, 1.5 meters wide, so 6 meters for 20 quid. I mean, yeah, I just buy a bunch of that. It honestly, I use it all the time on set. Yeah, and then just put your other one down here. Again, beauty dish down here. If you've got it, is probably going to be easier to use than a softbox. Again, because you'd be fighting with the hotspot from a softbox. So just bringing the beauty dish in real close, and again, put some extra diffusion on that as well. Okay. The way that I'm doing it is I'm using those tubes, right? So I'm able to get that light around. You're not going to be able to do that, but you will still get the same vibe from it. Yeah. Let's have a look what we got here. They are continuous lighting fixed at 5600. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you will have to gel them then if you're fine doing that, and if they're like S-fit lights, right? So yeah, you just have to gel them is fine. Just be mindful that the gels will take away some power as well. So, don't be surprised if you're shooting at kind of higher ISO. Yeah. They had the A1, which was the flagship with 50 megapixels. That's right. Yeah, this is what Gripe's saying this, but they haven't updated it for quite some time, so I don't know if they will re-release an A1 too. Maybe, yeah. I wonder if they will do something like Canon did back 15 years ago and have high megapixels 1 series as a different body. I think that was the 1DS, which was 11 megapixels versus like 4 from the Sports 1D. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to have multiple bodies rather than, like me as a photographer. I just want the camera to do all the different things, but is obviously not going to be something that they're going to do. So yeah, I would agree with you. I think they're just going to have multiple bodies, and they're just going to continue to have multiple bodies. Yeah. So Jamie's talking about stabilization. I don't know. I had stabilizers on my old Canon. It was doing the same thing. Oh, really, Jamie? Okay, weird. Yeah. Hey, no worries, Tommy. Yeah, no worries. All good. Good luck with it, and definitely share your results when you shoot it. All right, definitely share your results. Yeah. Sony A7R 561 megapixels, 3.5 grand. I mean, that's a lot of camera for 3.5 grand. Is the nearest high megapixel to the R52 or the Sony A1 5.5 or nearly 6 flagship, but the Canon has taken a leapfrog over Sony focus for the time being. Really, Steve? Is that what you reckon? That's what you reckon? Is that what you've heard? Is that like Canon's, because I have read cursory glance at the focus tech in the Canons, and they do seem like they're doing a bunch. Is it using the AI stuff again? I can't remember which brand was, like predictive kind of movement type thing for the focus. So for sports and that sort of thing, one of the cameras was using AI tracking to go, look, once once the shutter's been pressed and the milliseconds it takes for this image to be captured, the AI is going, this is where the subject will be when the image is actually captured, rather than focusing it now, pressing the button. It's kind of nuts. So yeah, kind of using AI like tracking to work out where the subject will be once the light hits the sensor, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. The Trump photo was shot with an A9. That's right. Yeah, he was shooting both RAW and JPEG. I think he said the RAWs was sent by some new Gucci Sony device with a SIM card. He said the images are transferred double quick. So he was sending the RAWs. Yeah, okay. So because I was looking into that because I was curious, right? And I read the article with the guy who shot it, and he was saying, yeah, he was just dumping files out to the editor in the car park, right? And the editor was just like, yeah, keep them coming. But I was certainly not expecting them to be RAWs. That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. Damn, that's nuts. Yeah. A9 III. So it was the A9 III in the end, because I know there was a lot of footage of the guy like next to him using A9 III. I mean, I'm sure he was using a Sony. If I was doing that event, I would be using a Sony, no question. Yeah. Probably going to use a beauty dish with diffuser and softbox. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just keep it extra diffused. Yeah, as long as it doesn't break when it falls, it's good. Yeah. Hey, no worries, Tommy, no worries. Yeah, talked in an interview with Fro recently, worth watching. Who did an interview with Fro? You mean the guy that shot the Trump image? I saw the interview he did with the Guardian. Yeah, I haven't seen the Fro image. Yeah, the A7R5 was $4,000 when first released. That's why I paid for it. Okay. Yeah, but still not sports. It follows the ball and focuses on the player with the ball. That's right, Steve. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it even works out. Go look, dude. I know you're focusing over here, but this guy's got the ball. Like, and can need you to wake up. You can pre-program faces with the R1 and R5 to follow the face. That's right. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Because he was even running as well. Like the demo I saw was him running around, I think, and he was running past other people as well, and the camera still tracked him even though he was running past other people. Yeah, it's a great demo. Yeah, usually A7 for the normal full frame cameras, and you have the A7S, which is the video, A9 usually for sports, and 7.5 high megapixel count. I mean, it's a lot of cameras. Yeah. Imagine the USA would have the kind of internet we have in Romania. They could send RAW all day long. I guess. I mean, there must be some. I don't know. Like somebody was saying, Sim was saying, it's some Sony device, so it would be. I mean, it has to be. It can't just be unless it's creating its own Wi-Fi spot, which obviously it would be, I suppose, in an outdoor event like that. Yeah, it would be. Yeah. But A9 III carried two of them. Oh, it was definitely okay. Carried two of them. One with 2470, one with 7200. Yeah. We spoke about it last stream, so I won't go over it again. But yeah, excellent image. Yeah. Nikon news. Don't worry, nothing crazy. As we all suspected when Nikon bought Red, what was it, last year, this year, whenever, and Nikon is planning to put its newly acquired Red Tech inside future Nikon Z mirrorless cameras. So again, I'm not a video guy, but Red is obviously extremely well respected in terms of what it can do for cinema and video. So I'm guessing this will be fantastic news for those people who shoot video. I don't know who is shooting video seriously on the Nikons. So this will be interesting. This will be an interesting one, right? When have you ever been out and about and you've seen a videographer not using a Sony, right? I mean, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. So this will be interesting to see the price point this comes out at, because the Red Tech is some serious business, right? And, in my opinion, arguably better than Sony in certain situations. So it'd be interesting to see how they handle this. But yeah, really, when have you ever seen anybody doing videography when you're doing whatever it is that you're doing and they're not using a Sony? It's always a Sony. So whether people will take this seriously and do some sort of switch, I don't know. That'd be nuts though. It'd be crazy to see, somebody using a Nikon professionally. It'd be wild. Nikon's financial report, which shows they bought Red for 85 million and are planning to make the Z-mount Red cinema cameras. Be interesting to see how they manage that. Yeah, be interesting. Just real quick, a couple of little bits on some of the little bits of lighting and that sort of thing. These are always coming out all the time, so it's nothing nuts. But this is from Small Rig, so again, some of these brands kind of branching out and doing more than their normal stuff. But yeah, tiny little. It's got a little screen on there as well. Tiny little camera that you. I mean, these are. What is this? $25, something like that. Yeah. Where does it say? How bright are these? Do they even give a brightness? It's just on. I mean, it's got a Kelvin range. Yeah. Yeah. But oh, there we go. 5 watts. Oof. There you go, guys. Just in case you need those 5 watts. Again, another one. I just kind of showed this because, like, what are we doing here? So, Hobo Light, new Max series kicks off with the 80 watt Avant Max and the 40 watt Mini Max. Like, what are we doing here? I just think, like, are we not just milked every dime out of the retro style yet? Can we not? So those of you who don't know, this is just exactly like the old Hasselblads from, you know, days gone by. But instead of taking pictures, you've just put a light in it. I don't know. I mean, they are asking them to take them seriously, you know, because they're charging $700 for the big boy there, which is 80 watts, and then $600 for the 40 watts. Like, are you kidding me? They're just bicolor, no RGB. That's wild. That's wild. So I guess you're just buying it because you like the look of it. I don't know. It's crazy to me. So again, their own attachments here, so just magnets and that sort of thing. So I mean, it says magnets. I can't see any other way, any other place where you can lock something in. So oh, it does have a lock there. The way that it was saying it was just magnets. I was like, you just can't put anything on there. Yeah. A lot of money for that. Yeah, a lot of money. Yeah. I think it had a SIM card in the grip to upload 4G and 5G. You think it was over 4G and 5G? That's nuts. Yeah, for the Trump show. Yeah, Neil. Yeah. That's crazy, man. These people put a huge amount of faith in these things, man. It's nuts. Yeah. I can't even get my stream to work properly. You know? If you want crazy from Nikon, I got some tea to spill. Look, this is a safe space, Vlad. You're among friends here. I don't look. You know, it won't go any further than us, right? It almost feels like the price is for the aesthetic. 100%, Neil. 100%, right? That's a lot of money for like an 80 watt white light. It's not even RGB. That's a lot of money. You know, I don't know. Anyway, don't need to shit on them for much longer. We can move on. We got a bunch of Rotolite users in here, so I thought I'd share this in case anybody's interested. Portrait photo competition enter now went up to $3,000 in prizes from PMI and Rotolite. Through this competition, we aim to create and share, inspire content creators around the globe and showcase the best of the best portrait photography shot using these award-winning products. Winners will receive prizes from a $3,000 prize fund, and both finalists and winners will have their work featured prominently on Rotolite and PMI, Instagram, Facebook, yada yada yada. So, prizes. First place gets you the EOS 2 Pro. Absolutely phenomenal light. That's the one that that I use on every shoot. The second place is the baby version of that in the 03. And the third place is the Smoke Ninja. So, look, you guys are all exceptional photographers. I highly recommend you go and give this one a go. Entrants must be members of the Rhodolite user group, so you just sign up to the Facebook group. That's fine. So strictly one entry per person. Yeah. Instagram, Facebook can't be private. All posts must state which Rhodolite model you used and confirm that Smoke Ninja was used. So obviously I know a lot of you got Rhodolites and that sort of thing. Basically what they're saying in there, you know, you should use some smoke in there as well, right? But yeah, worth a go. I think we all know. Look, this is the sort of stuff they're after, right? So they're after color and smoke, which pretty much all of you guys already do anyway. Now, you're not going to see the. I'm not going to say any more, but as long as you're using smoke, right, and you know, a bunch of you already got the Rhodolites anyway, making sure you're shooting color portraits. I think you'll be. I think there's a bunch of you in here that all stand an extremely good chance to win that. So I would give it a go. Just tell you Jake sent you. You should be fine. Yeah. Let's have a look. Look up Nikon Z50. It's APS-C stuff sold for content creators. Check out how the screen flips in relation to the tripods. Oh my god, really? I was gonna, but it says you have to use Smoke Ninja, which I don't have. Yeah, that's true, Jamie. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because that's a shame, right? Because there's a lot of smoke that looks like smoke, right? Yeah. But that is, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, because smoke is yeah, smoke is different for sure. Yeah, but you know, worth thinking about. And I suppose as well on the Nikon website. I'll have a look at that. Yeah, you use Smoke Ninja, which is also the prize visible confusion. Neil, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Yeah. Obviously, you got to abide by the rules. But yeah, smoke is smoke. Yeah. The only photo I have with a Smoke Ninja is from the photography show. Nice. Yeah. Now the question is, who here is willing to pretend he uses real? Right. I knew you were going to say that, Vlad. I knew you were going to say that. Come on, you have to use a rotor like that. You got to do that. But you know, come on. Saying gives every line. It's a lady line. Whoa, Steve! Shots fired, dude! Fucking somebody ban that guy. What? LED lights, LED light. Whoa, dude! Whew. Fucking just coming in here. It's just absolutely blasphemer. They want you to blow $300 on a product and have a slight chance of winning. What crypt? Oh man. Forget I said it. But yeah. Obviously, if people want to use my Smoke Ninja, they can do. Just let me know. Right. Come on. Let's get this. Oof, man, this is really struggling with the stream now. Okay, I'm not actually cool. So is the sent me some of these lines you're gonna have a look at now. I'm not able to transcribe this because this is a beautiful website, but it is so intensive. It's just videos constantly running in there, so we won't look at those. But like I said, a beautiful site, but it he's going to crush this stream, sadly. So what do we got here then? Let's have a look. So this is the one that they sent me here. Well, they sent me two. So yeah, so they sent me two. So this is the 60-watt RGB cob fill light, right? So it's kind of interesting they actually deem it as a fill light as well. But we got the battery here, right? The light here, the battery here. So the battery is most of it. It is kind of cool that you can just run it from power at the bottom there, so you don't need it. You don't always need the battery on. You can run it from the power. This seems like a simple thing, but there's so many LED lights that force you to use a battery. So I actually think that's pretty cool. But yeah, like opening the package and stuff, it comes in a in a nice case and stuff. It's got all the little bits and pieces you need in there. Just gonna turn this on. It's got a nice little screen at the bottom there. And it starts up. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that at 1% there for a second. Okay, so this is RGB, but it's got the the CCT in there as well, which is either the Kelvin. So it goes up to 6,500 Kelvin all the way down to 2,700. So the low point is good. 6 point is not particularly high, but is going to be high enough for most people, right? I do quite like the fact that you can just click in these buttons and it goes up in 100s, or it takes you into the next menu. Obviously you got the RGB in there as well now. Saturation, hue, that sort of thing. Pretty standard stuff. Yeah, you can click it here and it takes it up by, so it's 100, goes down to 0, click it again, 50, 100. So that's kind of cool. So rather than spinning for ages, you can kind of click through it, which is nice. Yeah. How's the fan noise? Yeah. If a DLA round light considered roto means round, means round light. I'm not touching that competition anymore. What's the fan noise? So that's a good point, but yeah, the fans. I mean, the fans are really quiet. I mean, extremely quiet. Yeah. So fans in there. So one thing that, like the design of these, right? This is, I really kind of like the design of these. You got the fans and stuff here, or the fans with like the heat sinks things, whatever. And it's got like this semi-transparent case. You've got this fan with the case on the outside. I'm really into the kind of design aesthetic that they've gone for, because this kind of travels across into their other lights as well. A million years ago, when I used to be into motorbikes and that sort of thing, we would refer to motorbikes that like had crashed and their like fairing had like come off, right? So you could just like the shroud around the outside, the actual plastic bit that gave it the shape and color and that sort of thing had come off. So you're just seeing the exposed engine. We used to refer to those bikes as street fighters, right? So the bikes that had crashed and had like their fairings and stuff knocked off were referred to as street fighters. The kind of design aesthetic that they've kind of gone for in a lot of their lights is kind of like that, and you see it now in custom cars and that sort of thing, where they'll have sections of the car missing, like to expose the elements inside, and like they've kind of gone for it on this as well, and I dig it. Yeah, it's not gonna be for everybody, but I do kind of like what they've gone for here, and I do think that it's really, really well built and designed. I mean, the fan has turned itself off already, so like it's obviously cooled itself down enough. So you can go in and adjust the individual RGB values separately, which is cool. You got your typical whatever they're called, effects or whatever it is, and they have this music mode, right? And I saw it in the PDF earlier on. I was like, is that a typo? What the fuck is music mode? This is how old I am, right? And so I tried to find out some information about it. Now, apparently, you can set this up, and this is in music mode now, and you've got this whole. So I can adjust. I can adjust 3 different colors in here, and then when you play music, this thing will illuminate stuff. Right now, it does need to be pretty loud music. I'm obviously making noises here, but right, so it reacts to music. So when you're shooting your music videos, obviously you'd have the music on, but so I don't know how it's doing it. I mean, you can see it. Even though I'm talking now, it's going off. So I don't know where it must be some sort of microphone in there somewhere, or it's doing it through some sort of vibrations or whatever it is. But anyway, it's not something that I'm going to use, but it's an interesting feature. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. So the attachment here. So this is their, I think they call it the ZG fit, right? And there's obviously that block there, and they have a bunch of modifiers. They do have. So you can get the adapter to Bowens, right? Which is like 40 quid. You know, not the end of the world, but then it allows you to just whack it on a light stand and stuff as well. Like it's good to have that as an option. Yeah, I think they were sensible to kind of have that for sure. Yeah, there you go. You just see it on a light stand and stuff there. Yeah, the little lights. I think that's one of those as well. They're tiny little fellas. Yeah. So how much is this coming at? So we got the one that I've got here, which is the RGB one, is $330. No, not the video. I will say their videos and stuff, and their website, and the way that they've kind of put together some of their promotional material is really good. Really. Oh shit! I forgot you guys can't see it. So, yeah, 3. So in RGB. I don't know what these. Have I got the combo or have I got the? Standard RGB, Pro RGB, Molus X60. I don't know what I've got. I mean, mine says RGB cob fill light. Is that? But that's not any of these. It looks like that one. So that's the standard RGB, combo, Pro. Don't know. Oh, so there's just a package there, so you get extra batteries and that sort of thing. Okay. This looks like what I got. Yeah, this looks like what I got. I got the one battery, the charger, and the little dome and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. Now this is kind of interesting, right? And I didn't plan this, but that previous thing we were looking at, right? This thing here, right? I mean, it's not even RGB. It looks fucking ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. Right. So, yeah, I'm going to test this. I'm going to shoot with this, see what it's like. But yeah, pretty interesting. The battery is a beast. I think I've lost the knowledge that reminds me how long that battery lasts for. But It's like it's not. I mean, I think it's like a couple of hours or something like that. It's not ages. Yeah. Dicks. Like I separated the LED driver and the electronics from the LED. Disco light mode, right? Yeah. If you need it, yeah. Music mode means it has a microphone in there. Fun party trick, yes. Do I want my lights to have that privacy standpoint? No. Yeah, right. I know. There is a lot of younger people using this light in the video, Vlad. That's all I'll say. They seem to be enjoying the feature. Is sadly the singing days are behind me. Right? Yeah. We all used to be in a band at one point, right? But yeah, Godox also has the music mode, I think. Really? Okay, it's the first I've heard of it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry, Steve. I think it's because that I loaded up their website. It's just an absolute beast in terms of the amount of sparkles that they have going on there. So that's that one. Interesting piece of kit. Seems really well made and like polished and finished. Everything seems sturdy where it needs to be. Like it seems like a proper piece of kit, real good. Yeah. So first impressions were excellent. So the other one that they sent me was this fella here. Okay, so in fact, maybe easier just to show you first off. Well, I can show you here. So essentially, what this is this part that goes on the stand, right? And then you have the cable here, which then goes to the kind of the ballast thing over there. Which is this. So like this has got a fan, that's got a fan. But interesting, right? This is the super thin one, right? The really thin strobe, like it's not strobe, sorry, but the really thin LED head. This is was this a 300 watt? Yeah, I think it's just 300 watt. But this is not RGB. This is just white light. Obviously, you got your kelvins and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, so this one goes up to. Oh, that's 1%, by the way. This is why like videographers like really struggle to understand photographers when they talk about power. It's like, what is wrong with you? Like, how do you mean you need more power than that? This is like that's 1%. Right. So obviously we'll leave it off for a second, but so the Kelvin goes up to 6500 and then down to 2700, right? Now, pretty standard. You just hang this on the stand or whatever, and then you can do what you want with this, right? So what's kind of one of the interesting features of this is that it has a boost mode. Now, those of you I think were here stream like months back when they first announced this at one of the video shows or whatever it was, when they first announced this thing, we were kind of looking at it and we were going, boost mode, like what on earth that all about? So what you can do is max power, right? And then you can hold down these two buttons here and it goes into, and I quote, overclocked mode. right. So if 100% wasn't enough, you can hold down these buttons. It goes into overclocked mode, which is 500 watts, right? Now I haven't found any details on this as to how long it stays like that, but like it just seems to be fine to stay like that. unless it overheats, and then it will turn itself off, right? So it's not going to kill itself. It will go, look, you've had enough. You've had enough in the red mode there. We're going to bring you back, and it will take it back down to the 300 watts. So it goes up from 300 to 500, right? So if 500, 1,000 watts would be another whole stop, right? So, half a stop. Oh no, sorry, it's 300 now. So to go to a whole other stop would be 600 watts, right? So we're going to 500. So it's not quite doubling the power. Is whatever it is, like 2/3 or something like that. It's giving you an extra 2/3 of a stop in beast mode. But yeah, interesting feature, right? And I think companies these days do need their USP, their unique selling points, and it's certainly got my attention. Again, beautifully finished, absolutely beautifully finished. I am a sucker for the black and red. It's the main reason I use Rotolite. But yeah, it's beautifully finished. They got beautifully fan and stuff in there. Red fan, black casing, really nice. This as well. This has got a fan on the back of that as well. So I'm not going to show you beast mode tonight, guys. Let's hang that up there. Okay. Right. Let's take this off a second. So this is the light itself. S-fit. So this is S-fit, right? Take that off. An absolute chonker of an LED in there. Absolute beast. Nice. Everything's just finished really nicely, I have to say. Like I said, you got the big red fan on the back there. And I think when we were talking about this originally, right, when we saw this in the stream, when it was announced originally, I was like, that's putting a lot of weight, right? You put your modifier on here, right? You don't have any other weight back here like you would do in a strobe that's going to kind of balance that, right? So I was like, the strain on this light attachment at the bottom here is an absolute beast piece of metal, right? And it is very heavy duty, extremely heavy duty piece of metal at the bottom there. Real strong crank that looks like it's gonna, and I also do like the fact that you can go like straight down if you want to as well, because normally so many of the strobes that I have for some reason don't allow you to do that without something getting in the way. Just a minor thing. Got a nice umbrella bracket on there as well. Like this pumped into a big umbrella if you need some big, powerful, soft white light. Like I said, I'm really impressed. I didn't have high hopes. I'll be totally honest, right? Didn't have high hopes for them. Mainly because there's just so many LEDs out there, right? You're just like, yeah, another one, cool. But this is a sexy piece of kit. Yeah, it feels like it's the real deal as well. So yeah, this is how I do an art song. Yeah, yeah. Everybody knows, Kat, that red makes you go faster. And faster is better, right? I don't make the rules, Kat. I'm just, I just abide by them. I think Steve. Oh no, bet my smoke needs you on it. Yeah, nice. When I win the competition using a pack of Woodbine rubbers. Love it. Can you imagine? Obviously, don't do that. Be the whole AI image thing, winning competitions again. But yeah. It is a good mount, Vlad. Yeah, it seems. I mean, it's super nerdy to even say it, right? But it is a serious. It is a serious bracket. That is way more industrial than any of the brackets on my strobes. Put it like that. So any kind of concerns that I'm sure we raised that concern when we originally saw it announced, and I'd be amazed if they haven't changed it from that initial prototype, because I feel like it looked plasticky when we saw the announcement, and that thing is not going anywhere. It is rock solid. Yeah. So again, I'll give that a go. They gave me a couple of modifiers as well to play with. They gave me the big lantern thing, which is just a big ball modifier, and they gave me this kind of parabolic umbrella as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they stand up. But first impressions are good, guys. Yeah, first impressions are good. Certainly worth keeping an eye on. S-Fit as well. So they're gonna slot into the Godox range. Yeah. I just can't wait to try out Beast Mode. I just looking forward to it. I love the fact that you just have to hold down the buttons and then it's childish, I know. Yeah. So what else we got here? This is going to open up the... Oh, here we go. I had to start max mode. Yeah, hold down the two buttons there. It does have a C-type port on the top there for... I forgot you guys can't see the screen. Jesus Christ, Jake. Yeah, so just looking at the Q&A there. So yeah, hold on the dials, and then yeah, it's got the C-type thing in there for updates and that sort of thing. Can you run power supply of that C port? No, you can't. Here we go. So they talk about it here. Can the full power, so beast mode, can it be used in a high temperature environment in order to provide a better user experience when max mode is used at temperatures exceeding 30 degrees C? Interesting. Okay. Molus 300 will automatically disable max mode and return to CCT mode once temperature has risen to a certain level. Okay. So, like I said, it's gonna kick in and save you. Flashbang power. Yeah. Yeah, right. And so it can only be plugged in. This is another thing as well. This is kind of I was reading the PDF before I went live here this evening, and it talks about live mode, and I was kind of looking into it, and this is definitely a gimmick, but it seems to be, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Long press dim to menu to choose the live. Maybe I need to play with it. Essentially, what they're saying is live mode is that if you've got settings on, when you give it power, as in plug it into the wall, it comes on immediately, right? And I think for many cinema lights, they've got to go through a ballast and stuff. I know I've got some other lights like that as well. It has to go through a ballast, so that has to go through that, and then you get the power from that. It can take a second to warm up or whatever. It's just weird because they show a video of a guy holding a 4-way plug thing. He just plugs it in and just it's just okay. I think that's kind of a bit of a gimmick, but maybe I'm missing something on the. I just couldn't get past max mode. I just So here we go. 600 quid. Wasn't that shitty hobo light 600 quid or something like that? I mean, you're just having a laugh, aren't you? What? It's just crazy. I'm sure that hobo light was 600 quid or something. It's just disgusting. Oh, we got a video playing. Oh shit. Reach 500 watts with max extreme mode. Honestly, you got to check out the website. The website's brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Anyway, I'm gonna check those out. Do a shoot with those. See how they fare and that sort of thing. One thing I will notice on this, right, it comes with this. I know I'm not using the dome properly. I know the dome should be popped out. I just think it has a cleaner light when it's in like that. But this is super clean. The light that you get from this little guy is, when I say clean, I mean edge to edge. I was blown away, right? As the lighting nerd that I am, was immediately like, well, let's see how aggressive the hotspot is on this. I can't even see it. It is super clean. So whatever this thing, whatever they're doing with this thing here, like I said, I know it should properly be popped out. But yeah, beautiful edge to edge light. So again, I'll see how that fares. Yeah. Okay. So Xi'an company is, I don't think Dave's here tonight, but I think Dave said that they used to make gimbals, right? So Xi'an has been famous for making gimbals. Like that's their history. Yeah. So established in June 2015. The Information Technology Co. is a high-tech enterprise that develops, manufactures, and sells stabilizers for cameras and smartphones and related accessories. So, and there's a bunch of other bits and pieces about the company there. But one thing I found interesting is these guys have kind of leaned into their Chinese name, and we would think it's great, but like historically, many Chinese companies have kind of tried to hide the fact that they're from China. So like Nanlite is a Chinese company. I'm not saying that they're not hiding it. Sorry, I'm being disingenuous there. I'm just saying they use a more kind of Western friendly name, right? So Nanlite, Chinese company. Aperture, Chinese company. And Godox. I know Godox. Oh, that's the Aperture guy there. Yeah. And then Godox as well, Chinese company, as many of you know. But it's kind of interesting to see Xi'an kind of lean into their name and just kind of go, we're making this high quality product, and go for it. It's just kind of something that dawned on me. And I think one of the reasons was because it, like, I was like, how do you even say that name? Xi'an, right? How do you even say it? And the lady that reached out to me from Xi'an, I was like, how do I pronounce this company's name? She even sent me like a video of how to say it and that sort of thing. So I think it's great. They're just they are making a solid product there. There's there is nothing, cheap or nasty about that at all. It's a decent product. Yeah. Or you could spend 700 quid on that. Or 600 quid on that. I mean, I'm being mean, but Christ, what are we doing? Like, please, have we not done the vintage nostalgia kick now? Okay. A lot of Chinese companies have a sister company that is geared towards the Western world. Same, yeah, I agree, Vlad. Yeah, and when I was researching Nanlite and Aperture and that sort of thing, like they're very, clear about putting their LA site first. Like their headquarters first and that sort of thing. I get it. It's I mean, they are both excellent companies making excellent pieces of kit. It shouldn't matter where they're from. Yeah. For example, Portkeys UK IG account asked him a question at 3 a.m. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it could have just been a vampire like me, Vlad. But yeah, I'll take your point. Right. Good stuff. Has anybody got any questions on those lights that they want me to kind of test when I'm doing my a new light, for example? Yeah. As being honest, China doesn't mean bad. To say that it's not like fabricating any kind of abilities here. I mean, no, absolutely, Vlad. No, and that was kind of my point, right? I think, us more mature people here in this stream grew up in an era in the 80s, whatever, where it was like made in China was the meme, right? Or made in China on the bottom of it, halal. And so I think it's you know, I think it's fighting against that stigma, whereas it's just not the case anymore, right? And I think there is a bunch of products that are being made over there that you simply cannot get anywhere else, right? So be interested to see. You have the Fresnel modifier as fab. Liz, who nan lights or apertures? Yeah, because they, yeah, I mean the spotlight that I have is from Godox, and that is excellent. I think it's pretty much exactly the same as the aperture one and the nanlite one. I think they are all coming out of the same factory. I don't know that, but they all look exactly the same with different color knobs. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Yep, nanlite. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at some incredible images just to round this out. Let's have a look. We've got a bunch here today. Nice. A couple of different ones. Liz. Come on, Liz. Come on. Liz is doing that on purpose. Okay. Just the one black and white tonight then, Liz. We've got from Alan there. It's like got some cool stuff going on there. Wibbly's got one as well. I think our laptop's about to catch fire, but I can at least cook some eggs and bacon before it does. Oh, nice. Wibbly. Oh, there's one. Very song as well. Nice. Right back here from Rick. The Alunzi products I have are some of the best quality pieces of kit I've laid my hands on. Really? Interesting, Vlad. Okay. Interesting. High praise indeed. Okay. I'll have a look at those. I'm not really familiar with their stuff. Yeah. So we got one here from Ulrich. Always getting inspired of the color combinations that you use. My lettuce work, great stuff, man. Yeah, and always a winner, right? The like the kind of deep pink and blue, always going to be a winner. And done a great job of separating out these lights on the body here. Got this really nice fill light from below with the pink, and then you've done a really good job to keep it entirely off the face up here. Just getting a tiny bit under the chin here, which is fine. But yeah, really good, really clean separation. Yeah, looking good. I think you're using the pose to kind of work with the lighting as well, which is good. Yeah, love it. It's got I'm not sure exactly where the positioning of that light is above, but just kind of watch this just burning out here, hot spotting here. I'm trying to work out where that light is. It looks like it's directly above. It just looks like this arm is a lot brighter than this arm. I'm looking at the no shadow, and the no shadow seems like bang on. So, yeah. So I guess I'm just trying to think about how you would. Yeah, I'm not sure what modifier you're using or where it's positioned and that sort of thing, but yeah. If this happens and you're like, God damn it, can't believe I let that happen, you can kind of almost HDR these elements in Lightroom. So you just export this file and then you go back into Lightroom, darken it down so that you have a bit more data in the arm, and then just export that out as well. Because the raw files that we shoot now just have so many stops of data in them that you can kind of cheat it like that. If you were bothered about it, it's something to consider, right? Just to have a little bit more data in the skin texture here. Yeah, just export a second file that is slightly darker and then just merge them. Okay, we got one from here, Tommy. I have mostly rigging tripods and that kind of stuff from Lazani. Okay, the tolerance is build quality is amazing. Okay, I'm tempted to try their wireless mic. They're praising them, but they do look like AirPods to me. Oh, really? They just copied the AirPods? Yeah. I saw it, Liz. Yeah, you're good. It hasn't loaded properly though. There's no color in it. I think you might need to re-upload it. The color hasn't come through. We got one here from Tommy. Most recent one from my latest shoot. Loving the in-camera exposure at the moment. I did do what you recommended and change the colors during the shoot. I know one picture per post under this. Okay. So is this multiple? So it looks like what, maybe multiple flashes here, or because then we zoom in as well. Oh, okay. Nice, man. Yeah, this was following a recommendation to change things out. All done with the SL60 2D and gels. Recent upgrade, choose inspiration. Okay, nice. That's cool, man. This is great as well because you see how these colors overlay. This is a really good kind of teaching image as well, right? You see how these different colors overlay to give us different colors. So you see how we got the red and the green mixing here to give us this yellow. We got the red and the blue giving us this purple, right? That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, maybe got some orange back there, and then what we got, all the lights down here giving us the white. Looks like we got the, yeah, we should have the red, the green, and the blue down here, which should give us the white light. That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I think you could definitely grow this, Tommy. I think you could definitely grow this idea and concept, because I mean it would be difficult, right? It would be difficult to kind of get your head around it, but I think there is some scope here to kind of plan it out in such a way that you could get certain areas, certain colors. It would be involved, but it would be something to think about, right? And you could, you could just start slow. You just do it with 2 colors first. Maybe you just do the red and the green and see if you can get some interesting shapes from the combined yellow in there, or the same with the blue, right? You do the red and the blue and get some, nice colors from the combined magenta purpley color here, and then step it up to the third light as well. But I think there's a lot going on here, Tommy. I think this could be the start of something interesting to kind of grow on. Yeah, I'm not even fully sure how you're doing this. Is this 3 separate flashes? Because you say you're using gels, so you're not changing the gels each time, are you? Or is she just standing there for like a minute whilst you change the gels? Yeah, very cool though. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. One from Tony here. You have to love models who are happy to shoot in 12 degrees C. So for my foreign brethren here, 12 degrees C is cold. Tony is Australian, so he's in his winter right now. Whilst we're sweating here, he's in his winter, so he's got his he's doing his shoots out there in the 12 degrees of winter. Love the kind of grade that you've gone for on this, Tony. Beautiful colors here. Really love this. I don't know whether it's a preset or something that you planned out from the start or whatever, but yeah, gorgeous colors here. Yeah, bane of my life, but just make sure you just fill out these labels. Always happens. Yeah, all those things. I feel like this is maybe just a touch over in terms of the exposure, and I don't know. I say a touch over like that because of the colouring and the grading that you've gone for, these dusty pinks and kind of warmed shadows and that sort of thing. It is reminiscent in terms of like vintage colour, right? So for some reason, like the kind of bright highlights like that are kind of reminiscent of the film days, because the film used to clip or get very bright in the highlights. So I kind of think you get away with it, but I think it's something to be mindful of, right? Also feel like we're getting almost a glow off that highlight. I don't know whether you've done something in post or what. All done in camera. Tell me, for the previous one, right? For the previous red, green, and blue. Yours was all done on camera. I know it was. Yeah. I don't know whether you're. Yeah. So this one here for. So I would love some 12 degrees C right now, Tony. If you need a mail money, let me know. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I'm sweating here in this shirt. Yeah. Multiple exposure in camera, 3 shots with changing the gels between the shots. So you were changing the gels between the shots, Tommy. Fair play to you. Fair play. So that model just had to hold the pose whilst you were changing them. Look, I think it's good. And you were hand holding this as well. Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah. One thing you could try, Tommy, is to have the camera on a tripod, right? And then get the model to change her pose between each gel change, right? Just something to think about if you're thinking about how can you combine colors, like combining the red, the green, and the blue. How can we get different colors from that? Think about poses that you could switch to between each gel change. And again, obviously make sure the camera's on the tripod. You don't want too many variables. So she has to stand on her spot, but if she changes the pose and her feet don't move, then you could get some really cool effects again as well. Yeah. But back to Tony's one here. Yeah, beautiful shot. Tony, absolutely love the grade on this. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Works really well with the model. You got her looking towards the light as well. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I kind of want to tell you to watch the verticals on this, but I think all these posts are all at different angles. So I'm like, is it wonky? And I'm like, I don't think it is. I'm looking at the trees and the railings and stuff back here, and they all look pretty vertical. So I think it's just all these railings in the foreground that are at different angles. So I'll let you off that one. Here we go. Oof, looking good, man. Looking good. Picture's not bad as well. Am I right, guys? I know you already saw my vid about this setup, but I'd like to ask for CC on the edit. There's a look that I've been chasing for a while that gives off the vibe of comic book or some kind of old printed material, and its color space limitations. Okay. Example below. And while I know people don't necessarily associate with photography, I think it yields nice results. I managed to master it. Okay. Oh my god. Stream, I believe in you. Oh, okay. Interesting. I do kind of know what you mean, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just looking at the colours here and that sort of thing. There's anything that can be taken out of this, because yeah. Cool example, Vlad. Yeah, I think you could be onto something there. I think you may need more going on in the image to really, like, more going on in your image to really pull this out. Apart from making your highlights yellower, or even the blues yellower, like this kind of milky color. But I don't think it would work for the image that you've got there. Yeah, it's cool though. No worries, Liz. No worries. Yeah, I like that, Vlad. Yeah, I do like that idea. Yeah. And look, I think there's always inspiration, outside of photography, and as many of you know, a lot of my work is inspired by the color of anime and those kind of bold color combinations. And I mean, I did a whole article on abstract color, and like it's kind of fascinating to see how anime and comics will use abstract color to get across an image without kicking the viewer out of it, which is kind of clever. So I do think there's some mileage in this, Vlad. Yeah. And if you have any interest in that article I wrote, I mean, it's definitely one of the articles that I'm more proud of, just because I think it does cover a ton, and I think it's a fascinating subject, like the abstract color that we can get away with. Yeah. So this is the shot. I mean, yeah, I see you got the red light up there coming down. We've got the blue. Yeah. aren't you going to have to relinquish some of this noise if you try and emulate that other look a little bit? Yeah. What about glow as well? Just a tiny bit of glow on this. Would that help, Vlad? I feel like a lot of those, because it's very 80s, that style that you showed me, it's very 80s, and a lot of that kind of has this milky glow to everything. I know if you look at, you know, chrome in the 80s, it's all like a shing and that sort of thing. I know that's kind of an extreme example, but I think there is a certain glow to their images. Yeah. Look, I love the shot that you've done. I love this. I think the lighting is super clean, and you know, this pocket of light here is really nice. Like your pose there is perfect for that as well. I think it's yeah, it's really good. I do kind of like this. Normally, I feel like this would be a bit bright back here, but I do think the power of red is so dominant that you kind of get away with it. And get away with it is a bit strong, but my point is that it works, is what I'm saying. And I think, you know, dominant and recessive colors is something fun to play with for sure, but normally this kind of brighter element I think would be too distracting, but I think the dominance of that red allows it to work nicely. Yeah. I'm surprised in the fact that if you put the example in Photoshop and then have pure black and pure white. Oh, I see what you're saying. So this here, if you bring this into Photoshop, there is pure black and pure white. It's interesting because my first impression of it was like a HDR kind of vibe to it, because there was so much data in it. And then I was looking at it more, and I didn't say it because I say there is a lot of pure blacks and pure whites in there. It's interesting, yeah. I mean, because it doesn't feel like it, right? Huh. Clever. I don't think the glow bloom would work on the images that needs sharp edges, but it's something to go and try. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we got to refresh this so that Liz can maintain her dignity. Let's have a look. Oh my god, I mean, this is just night and day. It's beautiful. This image was done with regular flash, but wondered how I would introduce colored lighting to such movement. This was done with regular flash, but wondering how I would introduce colored lighting to such movement. Okay. I mean, look, Liz, this is beautiful, yeah. This is super clean. Retouching is really nice as well. You know, skin looks milky, nice. Yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. Difficult as well with the pose, you know, with her pose being like really, I don't know, like looking away from the light, so almost so much, but lighting on the face is nice as well. Tons of data in these blacks as well. Yeah, really good, really good. So adding color with movement, I mean, you got a bunch of different options, right? You can just rely on her movement, right? So if you know exactly where she's going to be, you know, you can do a shot where, because you've got one big flash here, right? You've got one big flash here. So let's see. So we got, this is our backdrop. We got our model. And then what you've got, I mean, is looking, I don't think it's a softbox. It could be like a beauty dish or something like that. I don't know. It's covering a lot of area. You've only got one light on because you've only got one shadow there. If you're still in here, Liz, what is it? Like a big softbox? So we could have our softbox up high and down like you're doing there. One thing you could do, you've got light in the shadows here. How many lights is that? be interested to know. So one thing you could do is you have this as a flash, right, and then you just have like a big umbrella behind, right? It's almost a bare bulb, so it's just one bare bulb. So all this data in the shadows here, interesting, is light being bounced around your studio. Okay, so that's the reason I was kind of curious on it, because if you just shine one light onto an object, you get a pure black shadow. So I was like, there's a lot of light in this shadow here. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's cool. So you basically got hard and soft light in the same image. I love that. Great idea. Worked really well because we have tons of data in these shadows, which is really nice. So we could have this as a flash. That's gonna capture her, and then you have this big umbrella behind with just ambient light, right? So just like a big LED or something, so no flash, and that would be the light that's kind of filling in the shadows, but it would also capture some movement. So she would be captured still, and then we would have the movement of the of her as well. So you would probably want to be on a tripod for this as well, yeah. Just to make things easier for you, because otherwise you'll introduce camera movements, whereas you want just her dance movement to be the movement that you see. So you being on a tripod, big flash above, nice, super soft, like, you know, big umbrella. You can get like super big umbrellas on eBay for like 40 quid. Preferably a white one. You want it to be soft, and put diffusion over it if you need to. Again, just use that diffusion sheet that I showed earlier on, and then just have that set to ambient, right? And then you'd have the shutter up. I mean, it's up to you as to how long you have the shutter open for, and you'll need to gauge it based on how much movement she's giving you. So I mean, you could get away with 1/8 of a second, right? And you could get enough, just a little bit of movement, or you could go half a second and really get the, you know, like the arms going up, flash going off. So the flash going off would be when the shutter would open, and then the dress falling down would be the kind of long exposure aspect. Could be cool. Yeah, could be cool. Yeah, beautiful image though, Liz, and I love the bare bulb. I think that's a great. Yeah, I think that's a great use of bare bulb, especially in a white space like this, where, you know, the bulb is hitting the subject, but the bulb is also throwing light out around the white room, and that's bouncing around on the floor and whatever, and then filling in those shadows. Super simple, but really effective. Yeah, I think a lot of people struggle with this as well, because they try and fill in the shadows, and what they end up doing is adding more shadow, like a different shadow, right? Because they brought in another light, adds a fill light, and now they add more shadows. But this doing it as one light, I think is really effective. Yeah. Really effective. Great shot. Yeah, great shot. Just an 8600 with dish. It comes with super basic. Is it just a dish? Yeah, nice. Yeah. Here's the image I'm thinking of. Is that for me, Vlad, or for Liz? This image is really awesome. Yeah, Liz, check out dance photography, iSpars, her level of work. Okay, good one, Norman. Have a look at that. Yeah, got one here from Alan. Man, a few words, but a lot going on here with just a gobo. I thought we were actually looking through something here, but I think that's just the gobo. This is actually nicely done, Alan. The reason I say that is because I think a lot of gobos can be just too obvious. You know, people put a gobo in there, and it's like you're using a gobo. But I actually like how abstract this is, and you know, it looks like we got. So we do have two sets of shadows here, right? We got the shadows here coming from this side. Yeah, we do have two sets of shadows. So we have shadows here, and then we have a shadow here. So you've got two lights coming from different sides there. So one, I presume, this one here is the gobo, very hard, strong shadow there, and then this one is far softer, maybe a softbox or something like that, to kind of fill in a little bit. Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah. So Janelle says, I'm currently shooting drinks in my kitchen and I'm hesitating to fill the shadows because I feel a bit dumb operating with two huge flashes and such tiny. Yeah, I know, right? Still life is weird. Yeah. look, I would always fill in the shadows if you can. You know, you can always increase the contrast. It's very difficult to reduce the contrast later on in post. So, you know, I would definitely do it if you can do. Yeah. The link is for Liz, but okay. Save for the stream if you click it. Yeah, thanks, Vlad. Yeah, appreciate it. Okay. So this one here, I think it's really good. And like I said, and I'll say again, I love the abstract nature of the gobo. I think it's not too forced, you know, which is good. And I like the fact that you've brought in a little bit of fill light. Like I said, you've got a fill light. I can see it coming in here on the floor and casting the shadow here. And I presume it's just giving us a little bit of fill light on some of these shadows on the model here. So I don't know how that fill light seems pretty narrow here on the floor, right? Yeah. So I don't see it coming in here, but yeah, I think it's good to add it. I think maybe it would be nice to have it just the same fill light a little bit elsewhere as well, but otherwise I think it's great. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, nicely done. Good stuff. I love those gobos. It's always so fun to play with. Oh, he put the comment after playing with the optical snoot. Yeah, nice. Gotcha. Oh, we're in here now. I used one light, but I think it was some ambient light that made the other shadow. Oh, really? Okay, because I'm looking at this, Alan. Yeah, that's cool that you're here. Yeah, because I'm looking at this and I'm going, we definitely have a light here on the floor, and we definitely have a shadow here. So I was trying to work out what your plan was with that, but look, it works fine. Yeah, it's fine. I was only suggesting that if this was done on purpose, that it would be nice to actually have a little bit more of it over here as well. But if it kind of snuck in by accident, then that's fair. Was this done with flash, Alan, or was it done with LEDs? Got one here from Wibbly. Nice. He's got these creamy highlights as well, late, so don't worry if you can't look at it. Only AI is the plants in the background. Interesting. Okay. That one was creative. Midjourney. The light on the right was a stock image. The light on the right was stock image. So I presume what this thing here, right? Glow from speed light and gel. Purple spell. Oh, on right. Gotcha. Yeah. Created in Photoshop using Corel particle shot plugin. Okay. Okay, not heard of that. Yeah, the light spill, stock image, everything else in camera. Okay, so basically lighting on her and that sort of thing. Yeah. Wibbly, tell me, this is Sinopa Rin, right? You know, the model. So when you're doing a shot like this, do you have this real strong idea in mind before you press the button here? You must do, right? Because the pose is there and that sort of thing. Like, how clear a vision do you have of this image before you press the button? And I suppose my follow-up question to that is, how much are you telling the model about that vision beforehand? Are you going, look, I want you to do this pose, and the reason I want you to do this pose is because we're going to have this purple thing here and this orange thing here. I'm going to put flowers behind. How much are you sharing with the model on that front? It was flash, Alan. Okay, so we're still getting that ambient leak from somewhere then. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out in a minute, Norm. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I think because it was 2.8, it picked up the ambient light. Oh, okay, so there was just enough in there. 2.8. Yeah. You're not. I mean, you're using flash there, Alan. So it's something that I've really noticed with when switching over to LED is you've got to be really, really conscious of your ambient surroundings. And the reason being is because, okay, I'm shooting at 125th of a second, right? And I would shoot 125th of a second if I'm shooting with strobe or with LED. The difference is that the strobe is going off at 4,000th of a second, right? So, you still got to be mindful of the fact that when you're using LEDs, now there is the chance to have elements of movement, all that sort of stuff as well, and ambient light can kind of creep in, whereas otherwise you would have removed it with the flash. Yeah. This is a great shot, the Wibbler, yeah, and I love the lighting on the model here. I think you've done a great job Oh, it's the original sim, which is Wibbly has just responded here. I just chuck the close and stuff and leave the positioning model and then blag it in post. That's fair enough, Sin. Yeah, no, I appreciate you being honest on that. And sometimes people have this really meticulous idea that's all storyboarded out, and you know, they got their Pinterest boards and all that sort of stuff, and they're, you know, really getting everything locked down, and okay, this is the pose I want you to do, and all that sort of stuff. And then, you know, somebody like yourself is doing the opposite, really, which is kind of going for, right, I want to get the best possible image I can do, and then if I can kind of accentuate certain elements later on in post and add bits, then I'll do that as well. So, you know, I certainly respect you for owning that, and yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. Oh, straight out camera shot in reply. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, nice, Wibbly. Thank you. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. So what is this globe thing? What is that globe thing? Because is that an S-fit attachment? Like, what is that? It's like an LED light that you've got. Hey, what is going on there? That's kind of interesting. I kind of like that globe. Yeah. The shot stands on its own, but I like to fiddle afterwards. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Can we accentuate what's already there? Yeah. I did share some Pinterest boards and a guide and blagged it. I think that's fine. I think I'm kind of two minds, really, on it, Wibbly. The reason I say that is because I think sometimes teams can get just too laser focused on this idea that they have, and it's like that's like that we should just be looking at an idea as an inspiration, and then we should be taking like the ingredients that we have here today, right? We're not using, you know, a model with brown hair, and we don't have those clothes, and we don't have a speedboat in the background. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people have this kind of idea, this really fixed idea that they want, and I think you need to be able to take inspiration from something and then grow an idea from that with the pieces that you have on the day. And I think usually, for me, in my experience, like, working like that enables you to typically get a better result, you know, than being like tied down to an idea. Yeah, it's an S-fit attachment with the speed light. Oh, nice. Okay, it's a speed light. Yeah. Yeah, must be Rosa. Yeah, you're getting it, Vlad. You're getting it. Remember when I used to do fantasy work? Oh, you did it. You did that as well, Jamie. Yeah, yeah. A lot of time in post for that. Yeah, yeah. I got a meeting with Renee Robin tomorrow, Jamie. I'll say hi for you. Speaking, I just thought you doing the fancy stuff and the post pro work and that sort of thing. Oh, Dave talking about Zune. We got one from Chris here. I got very J-Kicks inspired on the shoot this weekend. That's nice. That's good stuff, Chris. Good stuff. Love it. Love it. I recognise this model. I think I've worked with this model. I don't know if are you in here, Chris? I've definitely worked with her. Yeah. So this is cool. Going for the orange and blue there, real bold. Nice to see a lot of detail in the background, Chris. This is really good. Yeah, I know we spoke about this in the past, and it's great to see a huge difference that makes, in my opinion, having just a little bit of a glow back there. It just makes such a difference, in my opinion. Yeah, really good. I think you have followed up with a comment. You are in here, Chris. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, what's the name of that model, Chris? I definitely recognise it. So Chris says, yeah, now editing could have been better, and orange light should have been higher and softer. Okay. Irina. Yeah. Okay. So your follow-up comment there was to basically giving feedback to yourself, which was the lights could have been softer, and I think you said what, higher or something. Light should have been higher and softer. Okay. I think, yeah, I mean, lights being higher is one of those things that I think you're right to point that out, because, I mean, maybe you could argue we don't have the orange up here. That said, we have it here, so which tells me that the lights are high enough. I think if you like, this is the pose I want, okay, I'm going to raise up this light a little bit and get that. I think obviously the higher that you raise them up, we're going to start to lose more of it down here. So I think, look, if I'm being honest, I think you probably had them in the right spot. It's just that this pose is just a bit extreme for where they are. So I think height-wise, because I mean I'm looking at them here, as long as this one on the right-hand side is the same height as that one, then I think they're good. And in terms of softness, I hear what you're saying with regards to, like, you know, it's getting a little bit harsh here. We're starting to, where these two colors are mixing, we're starting to get this kind of banding effect and that sort of thing, which is, I think, happens because you've got quite a big light in front, right? Is that behind you, or because that's quite far back from her, right? So the way that we can kind of avoid this is to actually bring that light in far closer and kind of allow that light to drop off more so up here. But like, for the most part, I think this is really good. I think this is really good, and I especially like the fact that we've really got this background element locked in now. Not too distracting, but definitely bright enough so that it helps to, you know, bring her out of the darkness. Yeah. I haven't spoken to her in a while, but yeah, today I said hi. Yeah, will do, man. I will do. So last but not least, of course, we have Jamie. Okay. Jamie's using his Ninja smoke machine here with his rotor lights. This could be a great contender, Jamie. So smoke machine and backlighting, it's like an early 80s music video. Look, man, this is beautiful. This is good stuff. Yeah, this is good stuff. Love that glow from behind. I think it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And the Smoke Ninja's doing work there as well. You can really see the kind of shadows that it's casting here as well. Beautiful, yeah, really nicely done. And again, like, working with shiny latex like this, very difficult to manage the reflections. You've done a fantastic job with it. Yeah, really good. Yeah. Beautiful lighting on, you know, upper part of the body. I like the way it fades off nicely. It's all good stuff, man. Yeah, it's all good stuff. Yeah. I know it's your kind of retouching style. It's yeah. So I mean, for me, I've kind of eased off on the retouching a little bit on the skin in recent years. But like, that's kind of your style. I think it works with the glossy, almost doll like, you know, latex that you have. So I think it's fine. But this could be a contender for that competition, Jamie. Just saying, pop it in there. You got some great shots. Could do well. I mean, you could win another Smoke Ninja, right? That'd be cool, right? I think this is just, oh yeah, it's just us ranting. Yeah, cool. So Chris says just a rotor light here. Yeah, the background, right? Just a rotor on the background. Yeah, like a Neo or something. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. All right, guys, good stuff. That is everybody. Beautiful images, absolutely beautiful images again this week. Just, I mean, may even be one of the best weeks worth of lights. Yeah. Lights, images. Hardly get to retouch your face. A clean, nice, yeah. Black don't crack, as they say. Yeah. Let's just check there's nothing we're missing there. I don't think so. I think we saw everybody's right. I can only assume that this is overheating. We'll come to the end now anyway, but I'm just going to check we haven't missed anybody's work. Oh, nice one, Wibbly. Thank you. I'll have a look at that. That's cool. Yeah, good job. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at that. Nice. That's everybody's. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that. Cool. All right, guys. Good stuff. We covered a bunch there. Went over some bits and pieces, some products wise and that sort of thing. Went over the new lights that June sent me. Gonna have a play with those and do a couple of test shoots with those. See how they stand up. But first impressions are really good. So keep an eye on them, and beautiful images that we went through as well. So yeah, the stream just about hung in there. So we'll see. I appreciate you guys for hanging out, and I appreciate everybody who submitted an image. Beautiful work as always. But yeah, congrats, we made it. GG's, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. Take care.